going to work this time. That was just because I'm sure it was the weather.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And it normally says to you, you're ready to go, but it didn't this time. It just went straight into the stream. And it's saying it's an excellent stream at the moment. Is that fake news? Do we believe it? Let's see. Who's going to be the first off the rank? And we don't mean taxi. Do you remember when taxis, all of a sudden Uber came? Holy shit. And you'd get an Uber driver go over there like, yeah, in there. No, you can't use that. Here we go. It's Lauren. What are the chances the two ladies top it off?
Yeah.
Diamond Bravo. Is there any chance you're a female? Because if it is, then that means gold, silver, bronze to the ladies tonight.
That would be good.
Guess who else is here? Billy and the Jets. Is it Billy? Benny. Fergie.
Jet's a young man with big plans.
Fergie, you black-eyed pea. Jet. Jessie. Jessie's girl. Evening all. Brody G. How are your shares going? Don't have any yet? That's okay. Darcy. Cool name. Hey, what's up? Not me at the moment, if you know what I mean. No Viagra in this room. Diamond Bravo. Negative. Dino Lad. Good to have you here, mate. You know, you and Darcy must be getting very close to promotion soon. We've got Cow to the County ringing up. We can't answer the phone at the moment. Carl Janelle, how you going? Can run like a gazelle. We've got Stand Fast, Dave D, just had a weekend out in the scrub.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. We've got Daniel Cherry. Cherry Pie. Bodie, Jaden Harrison, hey Kaz, finally back on to watch the stream. We were going to cancel tonight if you weren't here, mate. You come when you can. No, when you can't, you can't. It should never be a chore. You rock up when it's good for you, mate.
Yeah, subscribe the channel. We'll be here all the time.
The worst cammed up lurker. When your name is the lurker, it's hard to hide in the shadow. But especially now he's the section commander.
He's so good he lurks in plain sight.
He does. When you think of someone as a lurker, you always think of tentacles.
Do you? I don't know.
Always do. I don't know why I always think of it. Kraken, squid, PK, how's AK? Liam Bench. Hey mate, had my assessment day today, went well. Looking to enlist in January, February. There's going to be a lot of people. Cargo specialist. I need someone to come and pack my house up, mate. Kempy Thorn. Rose without a thorn. Mr. P. Only on for an hour, eh? You or me?
Yeah, we'll be on as long as we want, but you feel free to go.
I've never claimed for this to be an hour.
Yeah, you feel free to go to bed. That's okay.
We do love you here, but Mr. P. Fernie, what's on the agenda for tonight you're about to see? You can see the thumbnail right there. Let's get into it now. Bam. Long Tan Platoon. In one of the longest years of training between Kapuka, the enlistment, the duty first training at the School of Infantry, the hardest IET training within the Australian Army, it's come to an end for Long Tan Platoon, but not sadly, without a sad story, for Felix the Cat, who was back squatted due to medical situation, emergency, pneumonia, on the eve of going out for the defensive position. Guys and gals, I cannot explain to you the exuberation, that's a word,
Yeah, that's
exuberation, the exuberation that's going to happen with these lads and ladette who now have a Skippy Badge. And why is that so? I'm going to get straight to the point because, you know, they might be watching now before they have a hot coffee and dream of the first beers they're going to have. And that is because all of a sudden, the spectre, the shadow of doom of back squad, the fear of failure, the fear of going backwards is completely evaporated. They still have a disciplinary system that's over the top of them now. But after nearly a year of training, there's no back squad now. They can still get charged, sure.
They can relax a bit now.
They can relax. All of a sudden, for the first time in their military career, not only do they get a pay rise, But now they can go, hey, who wants to go for a cup of coffee? Yep. They might be sitting up there for 2 or 3 hours each day at the moment as they're held over, waiting to go on their postings, depending on where they're going to due to borders closing, etc. These guys, this family, this fraternity of brothers,
Yep.
are now in a position where their hat has changed, their uniform has changed, their badge has changed. They're now wearing berets they had to shave, along with their chins, Mr. P. Everything about them, the way they are addressed by people, that they can get around in pairs now. There's no rush to be somewhere unless they're told to rush. Congratulations. Now they have a lanyard. You know, that is the only corps that wears it on the left. Yeah, with their medals they haven't got yet. But if they do their service, they're going to get a medal.
Yep.
Yep. Australian Service Medal, 4-year medal. You get that? You know, for signing a blank cheque, saying I'll give everything up to including my life. And at the end of that 4 years, if I choose to get out, I've got that to pass down to my family. Fantastic. This is the sheepdog of Australia who don't know what their legacy is going to look like. Some of these guys might be in for the next 40 years. Some of these guys might be SASR in the next 4 years. Some of these guys could potentially have a VC. These guys are the tool that when the glass breaks, they're a political strategic asset that is there to keep the wolf at bay. So you can never underestimate what they have achieved. They've lost some of their best friends along the way. Everything in their life is now just changed. And they probably don't even know how to really cope with it, because now they're still at the School of Infantry. They're going to be walking around so many other IETs looking, going, that was only us a couple of weeks ago. We know how hard it was for us to get to here. We know how much work these other people have in front of them.
Yep.
But how great is it for the people, Lauren, that
Yep.
are actually at Singleton now, that can see a platoon of soldiers that graduate with a Skippy Badge, with their beret, like a glowing beacon of success that tells them, if they can do it, I can do it.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure they can. And I mean, like, it's like going from grade 7 to high school, though. They're at the top of the food chain right now, but they're about to be right back at the bottom of the food chain. So it's really just begun for them.
And mathematically, one of them's probably already had his ass kicked now as a soldier, because there's no more excuses. You're fully trained, you know.
Yeah, no, it's exciting.
Carl's got to go for his physio. Is that what you call it? Is that an Asian massage somewhere with the cheap glowing lights?
Hey.
Dave, Mr. P, Dave D, the allowance grabber.
Yeah, I've been looking at the comments. I probably should. Fugly's here doing a timber hack out at work. I don't know what that is. Maybe back on, may not. Who knows what the future holds. All right, well, we'll see if we see you, Fugly.
And if tomorrow never comes.
That's exactly right.
And Fugly, I couldn't get hold of you the other day, mate. Basically, the stream went so late, you know. For those that don't know, the guys on Patreon at the moment, they're really putting me feet to the fire. You know, I've been on that phone, the bat phone, basically non-stop, fantastic conversations. Some of the conversations have gone to 2 hours.
Yeah, well, that's what it's there for.
They're trying to get off. I'm the one going, and ye be the shepherd. G'day, Kaz and team. Changed my name for Animosity. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. AM. So what was it before?
Benny Fisher says, my enlistment coordinator told me today that no PFA is required for Melbourne recruits. We will be signing affidavits saying we are at that fitness level.
What a crock of shit that is.
Yeah, Dave reckons that's BS, and it doesn't sound right to me.
That's easy for them to say because no one else is going in, basically, for most of the rest of the year. And if they do, they do. What happens? Do you? I know Army Reservists, when they get to Kapooka, if they fail, they get sent straight home. So if you assume that you don't do that PFA, you just get to Singo, what'll happen is you'll get back squatted. You know, and then you'll be in a world of hurt, stuck in purgatory.
Yeah.
not in a platoon. So be careful that you don't think that that's a gift horse.
Yeah, don't. No, he said he'll keep us updated. He's expecting his letter this week, so...
Echo 46 says he did his aptitude test and only got through 20 or 50 questions. Aptitude test is one of those things where it's not just how many you complete, it's how many you get wrong. So you've got to be very careful that you don't attempt questions and get the answer wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
For the sake of doing questions.
Probably better for quality as opposed to quantity in that case.
Yeah, because then it can look like you actually thought you were right,
Yeah.
well done, boys. Enjoy the best part of your career starts. Yep, that's true. Can we get some thumbs up in the chat down here for Long Tan Platoon? Fittingly named after Delta Company battle honour from 6 area. Those guys, now that doesn't mean they're going to 6 area. There's not one position was allocated to the 2nd Battalion Royal Australian Regiment. So that goes to show you too that don't assume that you're going to get the posting to the locality that you want.
Yep, exactly.
Although I believe someone's still going to 1 area. I haven't heard who's going to 3 area. There's a special individual within Long Tan Platoon I'd really like to take a special swipe at to say, well done, son. And what do I mean by that? There's a lad like Dave, the allergic to gravity, self-foot amputee, who got back on the horse. But this lad broke his wrist, okay? And I asked him, how hard are you going at yourself to break your wrist? And he said, no, it wasn't like that. So this guy, there you go, Long Tan Platoon, SAB 68, he did that in 86, which is 68 backwards. Well done. Agent 86, Maxwell Smart. There you go. You should change your name to that, SAB 68, Maxwell Smart. But he broke his wrist and spent 6 months out. Now, normally you would think that is a nail in the coffin for anyone at the School of Infantry, the hardest IET course to do physically, because depending on what you tell the doc, it's very easy to get shipped out of there by saying, I don't think it's in me anymore. I've lost my motivation, my will to go forward. I'm nervous about continuing on and getting even worse after this. But no, he said that's what he wants to do. He wants to come back, he wants to build back, and he wants to stay in the RAR. The doctors were probably thinking, how easy would it be to say, no, mate, you're going here or you're going there, but not him. So I could not imagine the anxiety that he would have had coming back from a broken wrist to then go into the defensive position and then be digging for more than 72 hours, fire and moving with over 50 kilos of equipment, landing down on that wrist, etc. This kid, showed some tenacity, showed some real dogged courage there. Hey, green-eyed devil. Wait a sec, here we go. Cheers for all your hard work, Kaz. Please use this $5 to buy yourself a coffee or Coke as a thank you from me. Green-eyed devil. Well done, mate. I'm going to throw this one out to you.
Not so cold. Not so cold.
I accept.
He accepts.
Seasick cow.
Is there any chance that the seasick cow, the first fleet cow here, looking green in the gills, is from Long Tan Platoon?
Maybe. What's the message say? Oh, just hard work, buy yourself a coffee or Coke. Oh, that's nice. It's nice to be appreciated, isn't it?
You gotta be appreciated.
Exactly. That was just for you, Mr. Patterson.
And Jay Hayes is here too. West side, not cerebral palsy.
Yeah, even Chanel is here. She pops in when she can.
She does. Chanel
She's
Christie,
been around for a
CC.
long-
You can't say no to CCs.
No. Neville bloody Bartos is here. He's in hotel quarantine.
How much cash is there, Neville? None. No cash here, Neville. If this is your first time here, team, this is the Global Channel. This is the Forever Channel. This is your channel. This is where you ask a question and you get a 20% answer in return. But it's better than nothing, crickets and silence. But you also get the lovely voice of Lauren, which is...
Another cow.
Hey, Reese G, that's 2 cows on the same ship. Hey,
Yeah.
Kaz, got me a Lisbon day for March the 15th. 21 on Friday. Well, happy 21st. That's a good age. That's normally where we end up with port, bourbon, or tequila coming out our nose.
Gross.
So make sure you go out with the right people, mate. You don't want to look like that actual cow you've just thrown me, the seasick cow. Boom.
Naksu cow.
You are the White Warrior.
Naksu cow.
I accept. Thank you very much, mate. I don't know what your plans are going to be, but that's like that's a day worth dodging. Nothing good comes out of a 21st for the person that turns 21. Everyone will use your husk as an excuse to get on the piss for free.
You know what I like is that he's just as excited for his enlistment day as he is for his 21st birthday. That's lovely.
But Reese, how hard is it? You know, speaking to all the guys that are going in 2021, you know, how hard is it with that long to go? It's so close.
Yeah.
Too close to plan anything, so far away to start training for it.
It'll come quick, though.
That's what she said.
Oh, good heavens.
What? That's not what I meant. Lauren, get your mind out of the gutter.
What?
Hey, there's Waitsy. Waitsy and I had a massive conversation the other day. It took me all the way to McDonald's. G'day, Kaz. Cheers for the chat the other day, mate. No worries, mate. This is for you.
Naksu cow. Naksu cow.
This one's blue.
I accept.
That's the frozen cow.
Or a cow holding its breath.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah, lift your head above water, son. Bovine. AM, Kaz, orthopaedic surgeon cleared my shoulder. Geez, I wish he'd cleared mine, mate. It is hammered. You know, I still do the push-ups every single day. They're definitely one of the best things I've done in the last 5 years. I love them. I have Mr. P retired until the next mega stream, mate. He hasn't recovered. Dino lad, here he is. G'day, mate. There he is with his digger badge, and he'll be the Lance Jack soon, old Dino lad. Winnie, my grandson, is 65 kilos at 12. Now, he's either big or he's got to stop eating so much birthday cake. Which one is it, Mr. P?
Well, that's because Winnie has said that they're only 61 kilos and planning on going into infantry.
I was 68 kilos, 58 kilos when I was 19. Only 19.
Yeah.
And the Channel 7 chopper still chills me to my feet.
Yeah, exactly. You can do it.
Gabriel, there's one of my favourite names again. Winnie 007. Dun 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 dun. Got my medical in November.
That was so well done.
Ninth, trying to get to the to at least 64 kilos. Look, there's not a magic weight, mate. There's a magic capability.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
there's people that are overweight. There's people that are underweight. The thing is, you won't change much weight. There'll be people that lose a lot of weight. You know, and you can lose a bit of muscle when you're outfield too, but you don't actually lose strength per se. What happens is you get stringy bark creek. You get, you've still got the strength there, you know, but you just lose some of the, not the vascularity, you actually get more of that. You lose some of the hypertrophy, some of the body conditioning, the inverted corn chip shape, so to speak.
Rob
sorry.
M is new here. He said, "G'day, first time here. This is great. I was wondering if 91 kilos is probably too heavy for infantry. Should I be trying to slim down a bit?"
It's not too heavy. It's not too heavy, but it's heavy. You know, and 91 kilos, that might be fight weight. You might be 6'3". You might have shoulders that look like the bloody cross that Christ hung on. You know, I don't know. You know yourself when you look in the mirror at your carcass or carcass. You know, whether that's whether you're heavy or not. But you know what? You know, I spoke to someone last night while I was in the bathtub, and in no way was it an awkward sit down. And the gentleman that I sat down and spoke to, I could not believe it. His name is Emmett. I'm going to tell you, Megan, how you going, love? Before all the ladies are on here tonight, I should have done my hair. Or maybe I did.
It looks fine.
That's because I did do my hair.
It looks good.
And sorry for all of those who are intimidated by a 50-year-old man with still a head full of hair, not hair follically challenged at all. I got a call last night, and I said to Mr. Emmett, and we'll get back to Long Town Platoon in a moment, and I started speaking to him, and he was fine. You know, he could speak well, he was communicating well, and then he gave me a confession that he'd weighed 150 kilos, and I went, whoa. But mate, come on, pump the brake. And I thought he was going to stick with he weighs 150 kilos at 24 years old. And he sent me photos, you know, of the before and after, you know, 24 years old. He's now 80 kilos.
There you go.
You know, so he lost that much weight to come down to chase his dream.
Yeah, that's quite a feat.
It is, or foot. That's quite a foot. So what an impressive young man that lost 60 kilos, and that's before he came to this channel. He lost 60 kilos. He didn't get advice. He just worked hard. He knew what it took. He knows how much he wants it. So he lost 60 kilos, and now he's fit. You know, can pass the PFA like that. As a matter of fact, he feels like he could smoke it. Reason being, because he's so used to carrying so much extra weight, now his legs are so strong from carrying that said weight. He feels alive. Now he's got an OCD, if not a form of PTSD from being that heavy and being so scared that his metabolism could once again swear a jihad on him, and he could go back to that he doesn't go near any of the things that are bad for him.
Yeah, he just needs to be more hungry for his dream than for McDonald's.
And that's what he was. And he has literally saved his own life. We explained it to him last night without sugarcoating it. We didn't want to excite him. That if he hadn't have done that himself, because you have to do that shit yourself, at 24 years old, if he'd got any older, if he hadn't have had the dream to follow in the footsteps of the Anzacs and go to the military, it's lights out for that kid. If he'd have got to 30 and he had been heavier than 140 kilos and he still hadn't achieved his dream and he was still stuck in an office environment with all the bad habits that come with it, there would be nothing to get you back to a terra firma, a place of normality, of ambition, of passion. You'd give up. So that kid doesn't realise just how proud of him that we should be for being such a self-starter and achiever. So well done, mate. Well done indeed. I haven't seen him here tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's amazing. Robbie M, 5'10", but I'm not overweight. I'm just heavy. You got heavy bones, man. I get it. And as Sniper Wolf says, you thick boy. You're a thick boy.
Yeah, with a double C.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're welcome here, mate. Make sure you subscribe, Rob. We want you here.
For sure.
We need you on that wall. And the best thing you can do is to turn up to the streams, enjoy yourself, and know that you have a voice here. Because
exactly.
Would you agree, Lauren, that there is no specific question that I answer that is going to set you up for success here? What it is dribble-fed wisdom that comes not just from me, but from the confessions of those in chat that are lurkers as well, military members, who come on here, who slip in information under the alias of other names, etc.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep, I agree. I would definitely agree with that. Look, there's another seasick cow.
It is, with no comment with it. Daniel Cherry. Pluck it.
You got a question, Daniel?
Let's change it up. Daniel, I'm going to give you a kraken.
Oh, I knew he was going to get a kraken.
He needs to. For all those that have never been married and then ask, can I go out with the boys? This is what it feels like. It's a kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari. I know it's a little bit corny, but I love it and it keeps me laughing too.
We do corny so well.
Yeah, we do.
Tell you what we do.
Can we get a hope especially if you've got a name that is an alias and you're in long term platoon? Can you put a thumbs up there now? Have we got anyone there? You know, it breaks my heart that poor old bloody Felix the cat, you know, got back squatted for that.
There was nothing he could do about that, though. That was just a will of the universe. There was nothing he could do.
That's it. Hey, Ryanopoulos, how you going, mate? Hey, King Collins, sorry I'm late. What's happening in this stream? What's happening, mate, is not the actual platoon we're talking about, long-term platoon. But long-term platoon has just graduated, you know, from the School of Infantry. They're about to get their lanyards on this Thursday, I believe. They've got their Skippy Badge now. By all intents and purposes, they are fully fledged 343 duty first Royal Australian Regiment battalion allocated soldiers. So now there's no more back squad. Now it's just code of conduct. Now it is just lead by example. Now it is not train. Now it is prepare for the day the glass breaks, when they may be tested by fate and be part of history.
Yep, that's right. It's, you know, time to put their money where their mouth is now.
Yep. And do you know who knows that no better than anyone else? Is overflowing Stage 3 Pit. There he is down there right now. And that's a guy that's got his Skippy Badge as well. And what is the Skippy Badge team? It's that. There's only two hat badges that are earned in the army after IETs. One is Armoured Corps, okay, and the other one is the Infantry hat badge. Everyone else gets theirs after Kapuka. You know, so you can be in... Survival Man is here, 343.
There you go.
Survival Man, is that your Instagram name there?
Maybe, I don't know.
Fantastic channel.
Yeah. Here's a repeat question that Mr. Patterson is going to hate, but hopefully those of you who get a bit frustrated with repeat questions,
Fine.
Just understand that this person may not have seen the question answered before, and it may be a really valid question, you know. So I was going to ask if you can answer Georgie Cat's question. How does life as an infantry soldier vary depending on what battalion you end up in?
Well, most of it's geographical. You know, there's a massive difference between being in Brisbane, where you're in a major city, as opposed to being in a rural location, semi-rural location like Townsville. The difference being you disappear when you're in Brisbane. There's already as many civilians on the base as what there is soldiers. When you're in Townsville, you know, you're going to be in shopping centres in uniform. You're going to see soldiers everywhere around the town. You're going to see people with their that you know are soldiers in every club training on the Esplanade. You're going to see platoons doing PT in civilian areas.
Exactly.
And the footy. I'm not. Let us know if they still do it. But the rugby league, the NRL in Townsville, and almost every sport can be played competitively in Townsville by soldiers. They're always after fresh blood. But when you go to the footy there, you know, it was quite common when I went there that a Black Hawk would come in and land in the centre of the field. That soldiers would come in polyester uniform, ceremonial uniform, and they would march a massive Australian flag out into the centre of the field. Very patriotic.
Yep. You wake up every day to the sounds of freedom.
Freedom!
You have to stop. Whenever I was on the phone with another, army wife, you'd have to stop talking as the plane went over Vincent and Heatley, and then it would just go over everyone's heads, and you couldn't hear each other. The wall would shake. And
if you're in Darwin and Townsville, you know, it's not uncommon to see a column of armoured vehicles just going down the road past a school.
Yeah.
You know, you can have people dropping off their children to school in uniforms. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
The other one is if you're in Darwin, then you're going to see American soldiers getting around.
Yep.
Which is bad news if you've got your father's looks.
Yeah, exactly.
Because not only are you competing on the scarce amount of ladies within the city of let's go Troppo, but now you're competing with accents, that cult of celebrity that ladies seem to have for Americans, but wonder why it never works out. Yep. mostly geographical, guys. Georgie Cat. Okay, that's the one we're talking about. Greggy Palmer says his 2IC was in the Battle of Long Tan. Yeah, it was a tough gig, man, but Australians don't lose. And we lost Maxie Wales, who was a family friend. I wasn't born then, but Maxie Wales was killed. He went to school with my mum and dad. He was in the lead platoon. Those guys, it was good that they got hit, because what happened was when they had done the investigation into the rubber plantations, what they didn't realise was there was a regiment of Vietnamese coming to do a night attack on the Australian base, task force base at Nui Dat. Now, that would have been a nighttime attack. It would have devastated, and Australians would have been defeated, and it could have been absolute rout for the Australians involved there. And my dad was only there a year or so later. So well done to Delta Company 6 RAR, plus the Kiwi artillery, plus the cavalry that came to the rescue, so to speak, plus the cavalry lad that was killed as well. Cam Aiken, bam.
Yeah, Cam's here. Dylan Doble asked, is there any chance of a re-upload of the infantry support companies? Is that even possible, or is that lost?
Look, treat it like Hillary's emails.
It's gone.
I can't get it. I can't get them back. 530 videos, the bayonet, the poetry, all of my favourite videos, all of them lost. I try not to think
about it. I really miss some of those videos. Yeah, exactly.
The one that really hurts me is the one I did for the soldiers to the tribute song "I Would Walk 500 Miles," that showed that it was to the song 500 Miles, but not by the Proclaimers version. That showed the soldier kissing his wife goodbye as he was getting on the bus to deploy, and then them in firefights overseas, and what they do, in their role. And then when he came back, and the baby that had been in mama's tummy was now waiting for him. It was a beautiful video that we put together, and to have lost all of those because of that scumbag who scammed me.
Look, it doesn't matter. It's gone. Let's just keep going. Rob M is off to have dinner. Hi, bye. Hi, thanks for coming. It was nice to see you, Rob. I hope we see you again.
Yeah, Rob. Catch you later, man. Yep. What else? Cam, is that Jesus on the right?
That's the barista.
Lauren reckons that's the coffee guy who's serving the wise men.
He's the imposter out of all of them. He's just trying to look wistful. The others have, the weight of the world in their eyes.
Yeah.
He's just thinking about frappuccinos.
Okay, Dave D. Luckily, the stream when you rang me while I was off my face on painkillers in hospital is lost forever. There you go.
I wouldn't have known that, Dave. You held it together good.
Hey, here's one too before we get back onto Long Tan. You're going to hear a lot as we get closer to November, which is next month, the Remembrance Day month, that lest we forget, etc. Well, this weekend gone by, for some reason, I just couldn't stop thinking about James Meredith Hupp, which is one of our Patreon members from the USA, Jody and Maddie, who have lost two sons.
Yeah.
And all I could think was that, look, let's prove to them, that it's not just words that we throw out. So I went on a photography expedition, which meant that I had to look at Google Maps. I can't believe how accurate it is for timing. And I saw that it takes an hour and 47 minutes to get to Kiama Blowhole, which needed some Viagra that day. It wasn't blowing anything. And so I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive down there to get some photos so that I can get some sort of photos that I reckon that James would have liked to have done if he had still been around, or Ian Turner for that matter.
Yeah.
And I've got to tell you guys, if you feel down and out, there's nothing better than achieving something. Make it hard, make it suck. Don't overplan it. Just have your phone, if that's all you've got, and say, I'm going to go today and I'm going to get 3 or 4 great photos. This is just a summary, okay, of the photos we got that day for those that haven't seen them on our Instagram at all. Where are we? Looking for pause. We'll turn that off for a second. And the photos we got, these don't do it justice, but bam. So we ended up going to 3 or 4 different areas. Now what you can see to the very top right, that was the actual Kiama blowhole where we were there. And that's a long exposure, which you can't tell as the sun is coming up.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. The next one down is a waterfall that was at the Twin Falls, which is just over an hour away in the mountains.
Is that the top of the falls?
That's the top of the fall looking out and over it.
Yeah.
It was lovely. And what I didn't realise, I thought I'd been ripped off. I went, that is pathetic. I drove an hour for that. What's this shit? You know? But then I didn't realise about 500 metres away was that thing to the left. Now, the reason why I stuck with that composition, I've got other photos of it, and it was 300 metres away I took that photo with my DSLR long lens.
Yep.
But what I wanted to was to paint a picture, and I wanted you to see that and not know, well, how big is that waterfall? Because you can't see the top, you can't see the bottom, and you can tell by the water falling that it's fallen a significant way. If you are from England and you're against showering, I get it. This could be offensive. And the bottom one was the first couple of photos that I got of the sun coming up as well.
Lovely.
You know, I really recommend it. I would have loved to have had another couple of people with me. It would be my dream to do photography trips with 3 or 4 people who all want to do the same shit, all complaining. Paper, scissors, rock. Who's getting the coffee?
Yeah.
You know, and whoever gets the worst, whoever comes last out of the 4 has to get black, no sugar.
Those photos are lovely. I'm going to have to go over to Instagram and have a look at them on there because I haven't been on there for a long time.
I think I've only just put that one on there, but I'm going to send you I think I sent you the others.
You will send it to me. I've seen it in a text. Here's Rad Nolan with a cow holding its breath.
There he is. Okay, breathe, son. Breathe.
Not so cow. Not so cow.
I accept. Thank you very much for that, mate. You mean sorry didn't catch your last dream?
I presume he means stream.
If you catch my dream, you know I wasn't dreaming about you, my man. But I tell you what, last night I woke up in the middle of the night like the Channel 7 chopper was above me bed. I swear, last night in the middle of the night I heard bang, 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 like a knock. And it wasn't like the front door, it was like my actual bedroom door. Not that you ever sleep with it closed, because that means any baddies in the house can come in and, you know, take advantage of me.
Yeah. Jay reckons you'd love Tassie. I agree. The landscape here is pretty, wild and impressive.
You know what I love the most about Tassie, Jay, is every person has a second opinion.
Oh, you're so funny.
Both heads, get it?
You are. Fugly's asked if I went to Fremantle Primary. I didn't, Fugly. I had a private education.
By her second head. No, she was in WA. Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah,
West Side, I had to have the other head put on when I came here.
Yeah.
Let's see what people are saying. Hey, Kaz, this is Cougar. I'm planning to do Infantry Reserve next year, and I'm wondering if it would be possible to do all the training before March so it won't interfere with my university studies. No.
That's impossible, mate. Because for that to occur there, Cougar, that means, 1, you get in. 2, you put on the Kapuka course, which goes for 6 weeks, I believe. And then you've come off that straight onto the reserve infantry course, which I believe is another 6 weeks. So that's more than 3 months there. That won't happen, mate. Yep.
Ron Giles here. Hi, Ron.
Hey, Ronnie, how you going, mate? And Gabe Carrigan. G'day, mate. Guys and gals, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe and let us know a little bit about yourselves. You know, because one of the hardest things about this channel, and I explained this to Emmett, is that when you come on to this channel, the one thing that occurs, because it's a lot of it is niche, is that people come onto this channel and then they actually succeed in their life's journey, and they end up being employed where they go into complete lockdown from multimedia, without even so much as a volleyball to keep them company on their island in Kapuka, and basically they achieve their goals, and then we don't hear a lot of them again, but then new names come in and recycle in, and then our friends continue to roll over and over and over. Some come back, some don't, but that's because they're busy. You know, they've achieved their task.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll still be here, forever channel.
Yeah.
So, can you hear my dog snoring? He's sitting right at my base of my chair. I'm sorry if it sounds like there's someone snoring. It's my dog.
It sounds like you're choking him out.
He's so loud.
I just look. I can't believe that feeling that they must have now along Platoon. This must have been the year that sucks the most. 2020. How long it takes to go through recruiting, plus how long it took to get to Kapuka. Then they get to Kapuka, and then quarantines, and then the infantry training, and then the injuries that happened. They trained and they went through winter, the worst possible time, to finally be there with a Skippy Badge on and now stranded in School of Infantry while waiting borders. They must be thinking, 2020, is it our year or wasn't it our year? But what do we do now? They're going to be enemy. They're going to play enemy for other tasks. Some will probably go to the 2nd Commando Regiment's, what do you call it? The training facility, you know, to be enemy for them. There's going to be people that are enemy for other platoons. Role players. There's going to be people doing ongoing training. The one good thing, and they may not feel like it's a good thing at the moment, is if they get the local leave, they're not going to have cars, for starters. But it's going to be that they're probably going to still be a relative quarantine, and that's not a bad thing, because I'm telling you, Newcastle is a place you can get yourself in a lot of shit really, really quickly. You know, it's a beautiful town, but there's a lot of scumbags there. There's a lot of fast women. And, yeah, I grew up there.
I've never been, but I've heard nice things about Newcastle and
It's
some
beautiful. Last platoon to get out of Singo before the borders shut.
Wow, well done.
Well done. What do these dudes do tomorrow when they walk around going, I can't believe we're not in trouble for just being alive? No one's telling us, hurry up! I can go to the gym now, you know, and use all the facilities. Tell mum and dad my legacy officially starts. You know, the sad thing is, and what I recommend you to do if you get into infantry, spend the money, get yourself a brass Skippy Badge that you actually have to polish. It's funny as hell when you see people trying to polish a plastic hat badge or this metallic hat badge. You going, it's not going to get shinier, dude. You got to buy a brass one, bro. But it becomes something that you can pass down for years to come to the next recipients, etc. It's a really big achievement what they've done, and to get back squatted at Singleton, it can be a career ender, you know, because it takes so much out of you to keep getting back up, to train while you're sore, cold. The spectre of back squad always behind you. Is this the PT session? I'm sore now. Is this soreness or is this an injury? What comes next? You know, these guys must be each night just thinking, I can't believe it's over. You know?
Yeah, and good on them though. It was an achievement to do that.
Yeah, and they've earned it. And they would not appreciate it if there wasn't back squads. It's good that not everyone makes it. It's not good for them, you know, but it might be character building, but it's great for people to see people that they thought might have even been better than them. You know, for God's sake, the guy that came first at Kapuka got back squatted from this platoon.
Yeah, but no fault of his own.
No fault of his own.
It's not like he twisted his ankle. It's kind of... we were were just talking about it can be life-threatening pneumonia. I hope it's going well, though.
Juicy Jacks. Is that
Yeah.
like Cactus Jacks? My favourite food, my favourite authentic Mexican cuisine that accounts for 10% of Mexican drownings due to people trying to get over to Australia to taste the best Mexican food made by people not of colour.
Hey, Juicy's been having a good conversation with people in the chat, actually. They've been helping him out a lot. Cale Chiswick. Oh, he's talking to Cougar. So they're having a chat amongst themselves. Isn't this a great community?
It is.
With so many people to help. And some people will know more about the subjects than Kaz will, right? You're the first to say that. If they've done it, the thing that someone's asking about, like someone's asking about artillery observers and the one here.
I know a lot about artillery observer because I've worked with them on operations, but
great to hear from someone who is it.
You got one right there. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
CA, you need to change your name online, mate. Change your name, make it something suspenseful. You know, as he says in 8 Mile. So you don't put yourself in a position. So you can speak honestly without getting yourself compromised, mate.
Oh, Cale Chiswick is off to Kapuka 2 weeks today.
Oh yeah, and when it's not freezing there, it's boiling hot there, dude.
That's very exciting. That is so exciting. I can almost feel their excitement while they're getting ready. Nicole King's popped in just quickly. Hi, Nicole.
That sounds weird coming from a lady. I can feel your excitement.
Well, can't you?
Hey, Ron.
No,
then I can't feel any man's excitement.
I didn't mean like that.
Nicole King.
You're so cheeky. Yeah, probably not, Dylan. There's no chance of any re-uploads if they came from the old channel. Let's just put that out there now. If it was going to be re-uploaded, it would have already been re-uploaded. If we had access to it, we would, but we don't, so we just have to go again. Okay, Ben Birchall.
Hey, Benny. How you going, mate?
Just dropped by briefly. Congrats, team, and welcome to the family, indeed. All the very best on your careers postings. Duty first. Stay safe. What a lovely message.
It is lovely, and it means that Tully awaits.
Yeah. Yep.
No training wheels. We had one of the old. I wasn't going to bring this up, but we had one of our old subscribers who got butt hurt at the thought of the term sheepdog, wolves, and the sheepdog, wolves, and sheep.
Yeah. Why are you bringing it up then?
Well, it's the oldest proverb. It's about a rough classification of the wolf is the bad guy, the sheepdog is the firefighter, the policeman, the soldier, the paramedic, those that walk into the flame. And then you've got the people that live their life like we want you to. And it hurt this guy so much. You know, he's just gone loco. If he's out there, relax, settle down, go and do some research on it, and you'll realise the context of it. It shouldn't affect you that way. You know, he believes that our channel is the a trader channel now.
Well, I think he just really doesn't like our defence force or even our government. I think he's an anarchist and he can just stay in his own lane. Nick Smith is off to Kapuka on the 3rd of November.
Uh-huh. That's 4 days. That's 3 days after the US election. That's 4 days before Remembrance Day, 5 days before my daughter's birthday, and not long before Christmas, which you'll be getting off with your family at this stage, mate. Whereabouts in Australia you come from? If you're in Victoria, I don't know what they're going to do with you guys, because I can't imagine them paying for you guys to go home and do...
be hardly worth it.
Well, if they sent them home and said you're going to be quarantined for 2 weeks going home, then 2 weeks quarantine coming back.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Some big decisions need to be made.
Yep. I saw a question announced. Oh, Dolph Lundgren's here, which is much better.
I don't like the fact that you killed Apollo Creed.
But I like the fact that he has a new name now.
Okay. You've been,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Okay, King Collins says, hey, do they shave your head properly at Kapuka?
You don't get a shaved head. You get number 2 all over. You know, because they don't allow you, unless you're naturally bald, to have nothing Sinead O'Connor sort of thing on top. The reason why you get your hair cut short is not just to make you part of the herd, but it's also because if you get head injuries, etc., you know, they don't have to shave that area so much when they look at those injuries, so to speak. And I think it's also to take away any individuality that you may have.
In my opinion, the ladies should get the same.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? They should.
If we want equality, I say that everybody gets the same.
Yeah, I would love that. I'd pay money to watch the lasses go in and hear that.
It's not.
Hear that.
Why aren't women offended? Why aren't they offended that they're getting special treatment?
Because
they should be demanding to get their heads shaved.
Because feminism is very picky.
Well, isn't it though?
Yeah.
And it's what it is. Okay, we better change the conversation before we go outside the
Swillpot.
flag. Swillpot.
Isn't that a horrible name, Swillpot?
Yeah. It's a great advice he's giving though.
Hey, Red, I heard Cass say the other day he doesn't like giving out advice for people's psych tests. I don't. In case you're an actual psycho, that's right on, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And guess who doesn't know they're a psycho? Psychos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you're right there,
Okay.
Aaron. Only equal when it suits folks. That's exactly right.
I am telling you, but if I was a lady and I was on the Titanic, my voice would get really high all of a sudden too.
Would it?
If I was a lady, but as
a
a man and as a veteran, it's sort of going to suck for Kaz. I won't get on a boat called the Titanic because I know if it starts to go down, I'm going to be the first one to go, I shall stay.
Yeah. Okay. Dave D says, some guys tried to shave their heads every couple of days during morning routine. They gave up after a couple of days.
There's just not enough time.
No.
There's not enough time. You know, there is no reason to do it. There's no looking cool at Kapuka. You know, you're going to look like a numpty. A lot of the photos they could take there of human weakness would be awesome. They should make up a calendar down there of the worst displays of weakness that have been shown on faces, whether that be someone cringing as their foot touches the bear pit in winter, or whether it be when someone finds out they're going to infantry when they thought they were transport, or they're going to transport when they thought they were infantry. What?
Yeah, and you know what's funny is when like 10 years on in your career, you're going to look back on those photos of you when you were young, and you're going to think, wow, I was just a kid, and you're going to kind of hide them away under your bed somewhere. You know, you're not going to be getting them out to be proud of them. You'll have heaps better photos. You'll really grow, and you'll really, really change, because when I look at like a lot of people's photos, they just look like boys.
Boys to men.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron says he'd have his rack out on the Titanic.
To prove it.
And Full Metal Jacket is here.
Hey, mate.
Hey, Kaz, been a few weeks since I've been on. Sorry, I've been slack. Been working on me for a bit. That's not slack. That's great. And haven't made time. Hey, stream. Hope everyone's well. Yeah, we're all kicking along.
What we're doing today is rejoicing the victory of the graduates of Long Tan Platoon 2020. There's been more than one Long Tan Platoon this year, but this is a massive accomplishment. And there's going to be families all over Australia that can now say that their sibling, boyfriend, child has now commenced the legacy in the footsteps of the Anzacs. And you know what? It may not even be the family that understands what a big step this person has done. Do you know, this is something that really surprises me. It doesn't necessarily chap my ass as much as chap does. But it really astounds me when you do talk to people and they ask what you do for a living or what your career is, for example, and you actually explain to them that you were in the military, and then they ask what did you do in the military, and you say infantry, and then they ask the next question is always did you go anywhere, and you go well yes I did, and how long were you in for? And it might be because I have youthful looks. They're really surprised when I say 24 years. But after that, that's it. There's no, tell us a story. There's no interest. And you're like, if I had have met a soldier that was speaking to me when I was younger, if I hadn't have been in the military, you'd think he'd be insanely interested in everything that they'd done. You know, but it's just amazing. Like nothing actually, nothing impresses anyone anymore. You know, if I met a paramedic, those poor bastards want to get away. I'm just like, mate, you're amazing, magic, angel, love you. Can I buy you something, please? Let me buy you something. You know, it's insane. Coppers, how you going, mate? I hope you're bored today. I hope the coffee tastes great. I hope you have no cases. Thanks for what you do for us. Blah 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 blah. Same with another job. If I talk to someone as an electrician, tell me, mate, what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? Have you ever been thrown back through the air? Have you ever, you know, been, is this safe as you hit the switch? Have you not grounded something? You know, what's the scariest situation that's happened? Have you ever been stuck in a rooftop? It's not fake. I genuinely find something interesting in everyone's profession.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. You know, you're even interested in mine and it's boring. Old mate Paul is starting Kapuka next Tuesday.
Oh, what a perfect time of year. You couldn't have done this better. You've skipped winter, but the water will still be colder than the first week of divorce. But you're also going to have leave off to come back to home, unless that's going to put some pressure on you too, because some of the people are going to pull a fat cord, lazy cord, I don't want to be there cord while they're away. And it also sucks when they go, what do you do for a living? You go, because you're going to have a pretty shitty haircut. You know, you're going to look like someone who's just had lice in the 1920s. But people are going to be going, yeah, I'm a 1 quarter qualified recruit in the Australian Army. You're almost lower on the spectrum than someone in prison.
Yeah.
It's I'm on the lowest wage you could be on, you know, while getting treated the worst.
Yeah. Oh, look, here's Aaron is handing in his notice this week. Biggest change biggest life change I'll ever have. Mining to a grunt. Good on you.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. And you know what? When I have the conversations with people, and we've got a few people who've gone from very, very big paying roles to becoming infantry, to becoming Army, Air Force, Navy, actually Army. And they are so astounded when sometimes even the people in recruiting going, why would you leave all that money? You're going, you just told me what your motivation is about money.
Yeah.
You know, this goes to show you that what a life calling is, and if you don't do it, the detriment it can have on your psyche, that sense of, I feel like, it's probably like a lady that doesn't have children, something incomplete, you know, I don't know. Give yourself the best chance of having that life, and it's not all geared around money.
Yeah, it's about who you make yourself into, and it's not about the money. Ben Birchall says, one thing I love about being a copper, thank you for your service as a policeman, I didn't know.
Thin blue line.
Yeah, since leaving Defence in 2012, is running into ex-servicemen and women in the police fireys and ambos. That's true. There's a lot of opportunities out there.
And it's a fraternity. When you're in any one of those things, police, fire brigade, soldiers, it's because they have a chain of command. Because they actually have where the buck stops, where someone can turn around and go, oi, shut your mouth, you know, stand over there and I'll come and speak to you in a minute. You know, when it gets serious. I will listen to someone when I'm in an Australian Army uniform. If I'm in their jurisdiction and something has occurred and a fireman said to me, okay, you're the subject matter expert. There's no ego. I do what I'm told. You know, when it comes over to my expertise, then he'll do what he's told. Same as a policeman will do what he's told if I tell him what to do, if it's in my jurisdiction, not when I'm in his. When I understand their ranks, and I will call them by their rank.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just a sign of respect. And when you're part of the fraternity, people tend to go, oh, yeah. You go to a barbecue with firemen, police, paramedics, and you're in the Army, Air Force, or Navy, it's like you're with brothers. Just no worries. You're vouched for, no problem.
It happens a lot. Those communities overlap a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, Dino Lad said,
Ben.
mate, to be honest, I'm a workshop supervisor in a fuel gas boilermaker workshop, and I'm really pushing hard to get into defence, and the money is a huge drop, but he's just not happy with what he's doing. Yeah.
And then it comes down to, what is your family circumstance? Because there is still, you've got to be careful not to be selfish. You're taking your family with you onto this. If you waited a long time and you're very successful in your career, then I recommend do not drop it. Get Army Reserve to be the what you do that gives you that man points, that sense of achievement. Don't drag your family onto it if it could potentially lose them.
Yeah, exactly. It's about when you've got a family, it's kind of like you're a whole team. You're not just an individual anymore. So you do have to think about it. Okay, Daz has a question.
Daz is a good guy.
Yep, Kaz or Lauren, I've got experience firefighting and doing road crash rescue with the CFS. I know RAF have firefighters. Does the Army have a firefighting unit?
They do, and I believe it's part of engineers or transport. But in saying that, I do not believe that you would really get any fulfillment out of it.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be like doing it in real life, you know what I mean? Out in the civilian world would probably be more fulfilling. Yeah,
it's more of a precaution where there's HazChem around. Tom of the Jungle would know a lot about that. He's in bulk HazChem now as a fuel specialist. Mate, Daz, I reckon doing something completely different would suit you, mate. I reckon you'd succeed at whatever you do. You're a character.
That experience will be invaluable, though. Like, that experience is going to translate into a lot of things, with value. Dino says his wife and 2 kids are very supportive, and I'm very glad to hear that.
That's awesome. If that's the case, then do whatever it takes, mate, because a different is better than good. # different is better than good, and I'll tell you that every day of the week.
True. Yeah. Hi, Rory K.
Where is Rory?
He's just rocked up.
There he is.
Yeah,
You must be getting close to a promotion soon. There's Nito Mosquito too. We should change your name to Tully. Hit it.
Nito Mosquito's missus, I think, is busy going through training, if I'm correct, unless I got the wrong person. A couple of streams ago, I thought he mentioned that his missus was training and that he's already in.
What a fantastic career! If you have the missus and the mister in the Army, and you share locality, share all the benefits. You've got 2 supers. You've got free medical. You've got half market rent, which should mean if you're together, you should pay nothing. That makes sense.
Yep.
If one gets subsidised and 2 are together, shouldn't that be a double subsidy, which means you pay nothing?
Oh, there you go. Look, he said she's finished Tuesday next week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so great. How good for your relationship if you're going in the same direction too. If you guys can hold it together, and I'm pretty sure you will, good on you.
And if they have a baby, holy shit, she just gets to go home. No dramas, comes back forced to do PT. Fantastic.
Ascending Aussie is salty because he was back squatted from long tan because he did his back.
Where is he?
He's just down the bottom.
Okay, there we go. I'm salty because I was backslided from long tan platoon. I get it, man. Casualties of war, man.
Yeah, are you going to come back from that?
I think I know exactly who Ascending Aussie is too.
Well, don't dox him.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I've got to tell you, your back, you only get one off. You got to take it very seriously.
Yes.
And remember, when your back something happens, I think Daz has hurt his back before too. When you hurt your back, that's a warning shot over the bow that lets you know I'm coming back. Even if you do nothing else wrong to me, I'm coming back later on when you've let the muscle relax, and you're going to remember this day. And dude, there is times now where honestly I feel like Humpty Dumpty, but it's my back, not his head. You know, there's times where you just completely break down. It can be a cough, a sneeze, lifting a lawnmower, a woman of choice. You know, it's,
That's true.
you know, once your back is done, it never truly recovers.
Yep, Iron Wolf's dad's here.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Iron Wolf, we've just had a fantastic day. We've just had Long Town Platoon are about to get their lanyards, which will be worn on the left because that's where infantry wear theirs, who have just passed and got their Skippy Badges. Now, they live now in a period of freedom, you know, in a area of purgatory between training and unit while we're waiting for them to be released from there, and they may be even held over, possibly until Christmas, and then go on leave, then come back and go on posting. I'm not sure what the logistics is behind it, but at the end of the day, these guys now are free. You know, they can go back to their itchy blankets, their counter pains, you know, living beside each other with no doors, and basically just start living their life. Fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, it's so exciting. Living their best life.
Yeah.
Yep, so exciting. It is. Hey, Kaz, Tasmanian Devil, hi. Hey, Kaz, big question. What is the best Coca-Cola flavour?
It's not very often, you know, that I get triggered. But you've heard me say...
Yep.
You've heard me say before, there only is one flavour of Coca-Cola. There's only one. The others are all imposters. There's one. Coke. Coke is it, for those that remember the slogan.
Did you just go to Serious Time Screen for that?
I had to do it. You know, Coke, you know, so many times overseas I've been in a position with a boy calling me to see if I want cock. And you go, mate, let me tell you for starters, I'm gonna remind you that it's pronounced Coke. And the answer is yes. You know, you know you'd like this one, Daz, and Jay Hayes too. Jay, that's enough. Stop doing the incendiary comments, Pepsi.
Rory's trying to roll you up by saying Sprite is technically Coke because it's made by them.
Sprite might as well be Navy Sweat. There is never a reason to have it. You know?
I can't think of anything worse than vanilla Coke.
It's an imposter.
What's wrong with the normal Coke? I mean, the Coke with no sugar in is actually pretty good too. Just saying.
The only person that likes Coke more than me is Ben Cousins.
Wrong Coke.
What was I going to say?
Nuke 54's son is with Long Tan.
Yeah, nice one.
There you go.
Ask him how proud he is. Where is he?
Yeah, he's down the bottom, but chat's moving quick. Just under Simon and above Kemp. Yeah, we're proud of him.
I couldn't imagine what that must be like for a mother and a father, for a brother, for a friend, to be able to say, yeah, he's made it in. He's got a Skippy Badge. He actually is in the Royal Australian Regiment. Fantastic.
I think Mr. Patterson's going to bed.
Mr. P, good night, my friend. Good night. Yep. I hope you had a good night. Mate, I hope your coffee tastes great tomorrow. I don't think you drink coffee, do you, mate?
Whatever you drink, I hope it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For guys and gals, and Benny might know this himself, there is nothing better than being overseas. You're patrolling around, you know, while everyone else is someone of colour. You're in a different culture. Everything is different. You know, you're either bloody hot or you're bloody cold. You know, but you definitely want to be somewhere else. You know, and there is nothing that links you to home. And then out of nowhere, for some reason, we'll trust a local from the foreign country whose parents might be the ones that have got a sight picture on us to give us a chipped end bottle of Coke and just drink it warm. Just, that sugary explosion when all you've got is hot water or freezing cold water in your bottles. Just something that tastes like Western society. It is just, I don't know. I don't know anyone that doesn't love a Coke that's been in infantry and patrolling around. And then you just pass them the glass bottle back and the lid is gone. They go and recycle it. I've never wondered how many people have had their mouth around that same bottle, and was it ever cleaned?
Gross. Now, I've just timed out Ruben because he comes in every single time, asks the same question, and just decided to shout at someone complaining that no one's answered it.
What was his question?
No, I'm not going to do it because we've already answered it.
Ah.
Now, the truth is, don't get cranky at people if you're just saying the same rubbish over and over and over. Kaz has said a million times, before you start planning out your careers for the SASR or commandos, why don't you just try and get in the army first?
I think if long-term platoon could tell you how hard it is to go through the School of Infantry, that still loses a massive percentage of people in training. You know, something like SASR and commandos.
Yeah.
That is so far ahead of where you are now. That's like you're trying to swallow the elephant rather than eat it one bite at a time, honestly, mate. Yep.
Exactly. And he didn't get timed out for a repeat question, and he didn't get timed out for anything else. But when he's going to shout at a regular that we've had here for a very, very long time, who said, "Why you keep asking the same question every time?" And and he's getting angry that we didn't answer it. There's a reason we haven't answered it, because when we answer it for the last guy, it applies to you too.
Yeah.
Here's JP. He's here.
JP.
He calls Coke black aspirin.
Yeah. Inert 66 is great at carrying the few cans of the black aspirin. That is true, JP. But it's a little bit weird now because the 66 has now moved to a 72, which means they can hear that cut clunk, as it slides back and forth. One step at a time, guys, says Jazza, and steady.
True. Yeah.
And no matter how good you are, you are one sickness, Felix the Cat. You are one back injury. You are one spiral fracture from being that guy whose dreams can be on the rocks, or at least postponed seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you were going for commandos, for example, as direct entry, and you'd got pneumonia like Felix the Cat did, that could mean that you're also going to miss what the dates were going to be for the launch of the training to go to 2 Commando for direct entry, and that can mean back squad as well. Or that you're not going to be part of that anymore. Now you're going to be recycled in 343 RAR.
Yep, exactly. Emma's right. Wait for the SAS TV show to come on. That's going to bring a lot more. Yeah, and they can ask. And some of the questions are good, but they just shouldn't be rude about it. We have a really great community here, and I like how we talk to each other with respect, even if we disagree.
Yeah, and just be warned when Aunt Middleton comes on that. Not you.
Yeah, no, Darcy's asked me if I'm annoyed because we're talking about it. Anyway, no, it's not the subject. It was how rude that particular person was. We don't do rude here.
I did fart before, and it was...
That's not rude.
Silent.
You would excuse yourself. No one knew if it was silent. You would excuse yourself, I'm sure, but you don't yell at each other and expect to call yourself a community.
That's it. When a shame JC isn't here, he owes me a bottle of Kraken. Simon, how you going, mate? Good to have you here, you bloody Raffy. Guys and gals, just remember when Aunt Middleton comes on, that this in no way is what it's like to go for SASR. In no comparison whatsoever. Like was rightly pointed out the other day, Aunt Middleton was in Special Boat Service. But not just that. He's going to say things on this show like it's not a game. You go, well, goddamn right it's a game. Aunt Middleton, your show is only a game. It's only a game. Stop making out that it's an equivalent of Special Forces. It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Because at the end of this, they're not getting a qualification. They're not getting a uniform. They're not getting a hat badge. They're not getting paid. They don't have the responsibility now of carrying live rounds in a weapon and now being put to the test against a well-trained enemy. It's a game show.
Yeah, they're not comparable. Rory is so cheeky. Well, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when all those tattoo TV shows came out, And being a tattoo artist, God, it made our jobs a nightmare because all of a sudden there was a bazillion backyard tattooists and we were having to fix all the rubbish, and there was a million experts in tattoo and they didn't know anything about it. They just watched a TV show.
It's true. And what was her name? The gothic sort of chick that everyone was lusting after for a little while. Van.
I don't think everyone was. I know JP wasn't. He thought her tattoos were a bit lacking.
I don't remember her tattoos. What was her name, but? Kat Von D. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was he saying? Someone just said something funny. Liam O'Brien. Windscreens O'Brien. What about Mike Whitney on Who Dares Wins?
Wow, that's a flashback.
No one's aged quicker than that guy. Holy shit. You know.
I haven't even seen a thing.
Yeah. Hey, Kaz, my name's Aaron, and I'm currently waiting for my enlistment for the Australian Army as an infantry soldier. So, duty first. Well done, mate. I'm glad that you could be here tonight and hear about the rewards that now go to the mantle, which is duty first, the motto of all of those who live under 343 duty first of the Royal Australian Regiment. And when people say, what is it? What do you do in infantry? You simply say, we train for the role. And the role is to seek out and close the enemy, to kill or catch him, seize and hold ground, and repel attack by day or night, regardless of season, weather, or terrain. Even when we win, we lose people. You know, there is a price to pay. You know,
I've just seen an inflammatory question from Daz.
Okay. Is it about Pepsi?
No, it's better than that. Kaz, did you ever water down a Coke in your drink bottles using it like a cordial so it's like Macca's Coke? He said he did that during the bushfires. He turned one can into 3 600ml bottles of Macca's Coke.
I've never done that. I've never done it. And now I feel like I was starting to get cranky then, but I know that you take Coke seriously too. And you don't get much more Aussie than Daz. When you some of the messages we've swapped over, and he's a Hyundai loving, Coke drinking scholar himself.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it. You know, I might try it, but I doubt it. You know, because you guys send me enough dinero, sesterces. I am Spartacus to buy the next Coke. I wonder how many people actually have considered, since I explained that, considering that McDonald's rob you so blind with the smallest burgers that are almost macaroons now, their burgers. Did you know it's $4 for a large Coke? But it only costs them 4 or 5 cents to make it. So that means that box of concentrate cola is probably worth more than the cars in the actual car park, just for the syrup. Out of control.
Lewis Coyne says, "Hey Kaz, how has your night been so far?"
Lewis, it's been really good, mate. I've had a lot of really big phone calls with people from Patreon, which has been great, and they've walked away happy. We've received a lot of good news from people getting ready for the start of next year. We've got an entire platoon that have now graduated with their Skippy Badge after nearly a year of trials and tribulations, not to mention getting ready for that. They've got people that have fallen short due to injuries and sicknesses that were not their fault, but still have an attitude which is stellar. We've spoken to Emmett last night while I was in a bath, and in no way was this sailor orientated while he was sending me photos of what he used to look like.
Yeah.
And to have lost 60 kilos to follow his dream.
Which is amazing.
It's just been really, really good news. And that's good for me.
Yeah, I'm inspired by all the great people we have here and all their individual journeys. Yeah. Jessie Bray says, "I'm going into the military next year with my going to be newborn baby nieces and nephew not wanting me to leave." That's okay. You can send them lots of good stuff.
That's fine, mate. You're going to be the uncle they're so proud of.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what? Imagine writing letters to them.
Yeah,
and getting photos and sending it to them, mate.
Exactly. Get them to come, if you end up in Townsville, get them to come visit when it's an open day and let them have a play with stuff.
You're going to be the favourite uncle. We also saw one. G'day, Jesse. How you going? I'm going into the military next year with my going to be a newborn baby. Okay, that was one.
Red.
Under there, we saw, was it Joseph? G'day, Kaz. I'm about to start my enlistment in a few months. Just want to get your opinion on whether infantry or armoured is better. They're almost the same thing now, my man. You know, every battalion except the 2nd Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment, Amphibious Task Force or Battle Group, which is going to be retained as light infantry, recon heavy, which means information gaining rather than kinetic involvement with a threat force or a likely threat force. They're all going to be mechanised or motorised within a armoured protective vehicle either way, mate. So I would say that Cav has a lower failure rate, so maybe go for that. You know, Cav is a fantastic corps. I think it's going to be very, very... Cav is going to be very... what would you call it?
Don't know.
It's getting adaptive. It is going to be a lot of money spent on it, and it's going to be moving up with new vehicles, okay, to maintain their upper... what would you call it? It's a good place to go. They're gonna remain competitive. You know, you can't go wrong, Cav or infantry. But for mateship, I'd say infantry. You know, if you want to do a little bit less walking, you know, then go to Cav. If
we need both.
We do.
So, Nicole King is off to bed. Good night, Nicole.
Good night. Hillary Clinton's under your bed.
And Spartan has said he ships off to Kapuka January the 22nd, January the 9th for hotel quarantine.
That's awesome.
Kaz, it's been a long journey up to this point. Cheers for informing me along the way. Oh, you're welcome, Spartan, I'm sure.
He's got a Spartan mouth. And this time you get to join the army where you don't have to lie with other men. Spartans. I wonder how many Spartans wish they'd you know, been born 400 years later so they could have been Romans instead.
They probably don't regret anything.
Yeah.
Liam O'Brien. Deciding to join has been a great decision. Made massive changes, both physical and mental. Not in yet, just in a good change. Yeah, exactly. Even just aiming for your goal, you'll come out on top.
Absolutely. Let's just quickly say we're going to get off here in 2 minutes so I can go and ring my daughter, you know, because she's the apple of my eye, even when I don't like fruit. But make sure you do subscribe if this is your first time here. Get to know the crowd. They'll answer questions for you. You know, they'll help you out, and they'll fit that gap as more and more of us. Put a thumbs up down there if you have completely put a yellow hand up if you have completely done hashtag walk away from normal TV. Put a hand of colour up if you rarely do coloured TV, but you mostly do YouTube or that sort of thing, because I don't look at normal TV at all ever anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't either. In fact, I've hardly even been watching YouTube lately. I've been playing XCOM 2.
I don't know if this is fake news or not, team. This lass, Lauren, got through XCOM 2 without losing a single soldier.
Not even one. I only went through 14 soldiers and I didn't lose any of them. I nearly lost one, but I didn't.
Look how many people there. Look how many people there. Yellow hands. Dolph gets it mixed up. You know, puts his bloody flexed arm. He's a big lad. Good looking boy.
Yep.
Going out with a beautiful woman. You know, we knew Dolph before he was in the army. He came to this channel and we helped him through. Went to Kapuka to go and see him march out. Remember when he wanted to get out. Remember when he wanted to go Special Forces. Then he met the girl of his dreams. Then he got married and he's still here. So if that is not a signifier to this being a channel that you should subscribe to right now while ticking the like button, then I can't do anything to keep you happy. Aaron, he just threw a Coke at me, not a Pepsi.
Not so cold. Not so cold.
Aaron.
Aaron's great.
I accept!
But I will not put that Coke into 3 water bottles with Daz.
If you were desperate enough, that's a handy tip. If you need to make it go further.
Hey, Nolly or Nam. G'day, mate. How you going down there? That's the first time I've seen your name, mate.
Oh, you haven't seen that name before either.
Haven't had TV since 2012. Holy shit, Rob.
On your Rob.
Do you want us to do a GoFundMe for you?
No, I don't think he's saying he hasn't got a TV. Maybe he just doesn't. Look, Simon Powell's sold his, so yep.
There's Jazza. Jazza's got a hand of colour there, so he's sort of in between normal TV and whatever. We've got the awesome man 47. Hey Kaz, what would you look for in a good officer? Moral courage, mate, and ultimately leadership.
Yep, and cucumber sandwich.
Leadership, someone who can make a hard decision when others can't.
Yep.
Someone like Trump.
Yeah. Rory is there. He's on fire tonight. He said kombucha cola flavour is the best.
I won't risk it. I know some people, some lovely people that are the PR people for Coca-Cola Australia. You know, they used to send me things all the time, and I could not be disloyal to them.
I don't think kombucha is kombucha cola.
I don't know.
I think kombucha is a standalone fermented sort of drink thing with like something. I don't know. People make their own cultures of it and that.
Daz, you're going to be one of my last questions here. He's saying a fella from his work that he does scaffolding with was in Armoured Corps in the 90s. He loved it and has highly recommended it to me before.
There you go.
If you drive a Hyundai like I do, Daz, and I know you do, then it's a step up going to armour. I reckon you'd love it. You know, but the armoured vehicles aren't as reliable as Hyundai Power, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Daz has a great attitude. I think he's going to do well.
Oh, he's awesome. He cracks me up. And no one likes a good bushfire, not a bushfire. No one likes a good 50-metre Burning Man bonfire while shooting it with a shotgun that does nothing.
That sounds like a good weekend.
He sends me these videos, and it's a classic. It's a classic.
That's
Hey, the
amazing.
baker.
Seasick cow.
He is throwing a seasick cow in. I'm going to throw you the squid. Or marriage, as we like to call it. I want to go out tonight. Ah! Caught him near the bar. It's a kraken. Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari. Thanks, Baker. Where's the candlestick maker? Guys and gals, let's get out of here so I can go. And if you love Jaffas, go Cav.
Yep, I've heard that before.
Yeah. Sleeping in. Peter H. Can save money. Don't have to drive to work every day. The lads are usually getting on the piss in the weekends. That's it. Guys and gals, let's get out of here. Fugly, old but Goldie. Try sniffing coke once, but the ice cubes got stuck in my nose.
Ugly.
You know, I used to say as a joke, you know what? I just hate the smell of cocaine. I haven't tried any drugs in my lifetime. I don't do it. You know, the army put enough into us. Ricky Middleton, g'day, mate. We're going to get out of here so I can go and call my little angel. And guys and gals, it's been a blast. Tonight was about Long-Term Platoon, while still remembering the trials and tribulations that others are going with, whether it be Josh, whether it be Felix the Cat, and others that, unfortunately, through no fault of their own, training hard, takes a toll. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And it was about how good Lauren is at XCOM and how I'm going to kick your butt.
That, my dear, is fake news. And
you wait.
I will give you your first kills.
What are you going to do if I beat you? Are you going to eat Brussels sprouts or something, or cauliflower?
Maybe.
Right,
Maybe we could we could record that game.
It's not even if, it's when. Okay.
That's all right.
All right, good night, everyone.
I'll see you on the flip side, Skag. See you later. Mucho respecto, and guys and gals, it'll be your turn soon enough. To Long-Term Platoon, well done. Mucho respecto, and have a good night's sleep as a free man.